Hello and welcome to Henry Recommends, the show where I, DisRegarding Henry, recommend to you movies that I like and that you might like too. In this episode, I'd like to recommend Guillermo del Toro's latest adult fairy tale and one of the most deeply felt movies of his career so far, a peculiar romance called The Shape of Water. In a top-secret government research facility, once upon a time in Cold War America, Eliza, a mute cleaning woman played by Sally Hawkins, discovers that a very strange creature has been recently brought in by a brutal colonel named Strickland, played by Michael Shannon. The creature is a kind of amphibian man, played by Doug Jones, who once again vanishes beneath layers of incredible makeup and prosthetic effects. Strickland is none too fond of this creature and wants it quickly dissected. Eliza, drawn to its mysteriousness and beauty, begins sneaking into the lab to spend time with it and learns that it is intelligent and compassionate. Horrified by the way it is treated and by the government's plans for it, she decides to take it upon herself to do something to help it, along the way realizing that she is falling head over heels in love. This is an old-fashioned sort of movie, an homage to the classic Hollywood genres, the film noir, the monster movie, the musical, the romantic drama, but done very much in Del Toro's unusual, daring, and kinky style. In a lot of ways, it's probably the riskiest film he's ever made. It tells a story that not only moves freely between so many different genres, it balances moments of delicate sensitivity with shocking violence. It takes off on flights of fancy while remaining grounded in harsh reality, the whole time trying to sell you on this outlandish romance between a woman and a fish man, which it does without a hint of irony and some surprisingly frank sexuality. It's something of a miracle that he managed to pull it off, and so confidently. You never sense him struggling, straining to reach something beyond his grasp. It's a film that moves with such lightness and joy, which really took me by surprise. I was expecting it to be dark, I was expecting it to be kinky, I wasn't expecting it to be so whimsical. As dark as it is, there's an innocence at the heart of this story, a purity that overpowers the harsher elements. But I shouldn't give Del Toro all the credit. Certainly he's helped a great deal by a completely dedicated cast. Michael Stuhlbarg, Octavia Spencer, Richard Jenkins are all great as always. Michael Shannon gets to sink his teeth into one of the most interesting and complex villains he's ever played. But the heart and soul of this movie are Doug Jones, as always, elevating the art of the monster performance to new heights, and Sally Hawkins, who makes her character and emotions leap off the screen, despite never speaking a single word. It goes without saying that this movie looks incredible. With a Guillermo del Toro film, no single element can be taken as its own individual piece. It is all serving to support the whole structure, from the cinematography by Dan Lauschton to the costume design by Luis Sequeira to the production design by Paul Osterberry. Everything, even the most minute choice in color or light or texture, it is all being very specifically used to create this world and tell this story. All of it emerges as an extension of the characters and the themes, what Del Toro describes as eye protein as opposed to eye candy. It doesn't just look pretty, it holds some real nutritional content as well. And the fact that he and his team have managed to make what looks like a $200 million movie on a budget of $19.5 million is nothing short of astounding. By the same token, it is impossible to separate a Del Toro movie from Del Toro himself. His work expresses in the deepest possible way who he is. With this film, he expresses his kinship with monsters in more ways than one. The heroes that drive this film are all marginalized in different ways. They are seen by the world as freaks. To Del Toro, they represent what it truly means to be human, and that is to be different. The Shape of Water is currently playing in theaters, and it is a must-see. A passionate and heartfelt declaration from a one-of-a-kind filmmaker. A declaration of his love for the magic and the romance of movies, for the transcendent power of empathy and understanding, and of the beauty of love itself. That's why Henry recommends The Shape of Water. Sayonara.